So let me ask you this. So what makes hospitality a good asset class to invest in today, given the current climate, of course, compared to other commercial real estate assets? Here, talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's a great question. And I think today lodging is probably the most investable asset class. When you look at all the different commercial real estate asset classes out there, I think lodging is the most investable and probably the most interesting asset class to invest in today, just given all the noise around inflation. Lodging in general is, probably the best hedge against inflation because we do reprice daily, as a business. So we're able to take advantage of the inflation pressures. I think, the other side of the equation is you've had, the last 24 months, clearly have been, for especially going back 18 to 24 months ago, was very devastating for the lodging industry, what happened with this pandemic. But, that was, fortunately we're coming to the end of the impact of the pandemic. And, most hotels are experiencing a surge of demand that's starting to exist at much higher, and that demand that's coming is coming at much higher ADRs, average daily rates. And so because of that, I think, lodging is a much better asset class to invest into, coupled with the fact that, when you look at, multifamily, office, retail, you look at all these different, asset classes, a lot of them are trading at much lower, cap rates than where lodging is trading at. And we've had this disruption of, cash flows, obviously, over the last couple of years. But I think when you take in consideration the expectations of where revenues are headed in lodging over the next 12 to 24 months, given the fact that we trade at a much higher cap rate than where you see apartments and industrial and some of the other asset classes, I think it makes lodging a much more investable asset class. And I'm a big believer that there's going to be, we've seen a surge of demand on travel in the leisure segment, and I think you're going to see that surge on the corporate side, which is only going to help, fuel the revenue growth as well as the, the actual operating cash flows, at these different assets. So I think it's a great time to be investing. If you're buying hotels, developing hotels, I think it's a great time to be in the lodging business.